We have a follow-up now on our investigation into the confusing cost of care. Tonight, we look at a practice known as balance billing.
It can lead to a costly surprise when patients find out who's really in their health plan network and who's not. Investigative reporter Chris Horne shows us why we should never make assumptions. Chris.
Yeah, Anita and Tom, here's the assumption we make, and when you think about it, it's not unreasonable at all. If the hospital is in network, then all the providers within that hospital are too, right? No. And sometimes the problem is even simpler than that. An outdated provider list. That led a local man to lose not just sleep, but critically needed care. Thomas Ema of Williamsburg has an immune deficiency disorder.
That requires getting an infusion of gamma globulin every 30 days.
Each one about $9,000. His wife Liz had checked with their health plan.
And it would show this doctor and hospital being in network, and it did that every time I logged in.
But the website information was out of date. In fact, the provider was no longer in their network.
We started getting huge bills from the medical provider that we thought we had in our network.
Probably around $60,000. It might even be more than that.
When you're going through the medical stuff that kind of stress is not the thing you really want to be dealing with.
And Thomas Ema made a decision none of us ever wants to make involving money and medicine.
It broke my heart because of him stopping treatment. He said that I can't afford to pay that out of pocket.
And without the vital monthly treatments,
his lymphoma came back with a vengeance. Absolutely.
With the help of the Patient Advocate Foundation and screenshots that Liz had saved, the Emas were able to get nearly all of the bill reversed. A recent study found that about 1 in 7 emergency room visits and 1 in 11 hospital stays resulted in the patient getting a surprise balance bill.
We see hundreds of them a year.
Alan Balch is the head of the Patient Advocate Foundation based in Hampton. He says the classic example of a surprise bill happens when you see an out-of-network provider while you're being treated at an in-network hospital.
You may have whole departments that are not part of, within an in-network facility, that are not part of the contract. The medical group's not part of the contract with the insurance plan.
Surprise billing is not regulated in Virginia. However, 6 other states do have strong consumer protection, meaning patients don't have to pay extra provider charges when they get treatment in an in-network facility. A study this year by the Commonwealth Fund found that our region runs the entire spectrum of regulation. Maryland has comprehensive protection against balance billing. West Virginia and North Carolina have some protection, but DC and Virginia have essentially no protection. So when you're researching your network's providers, don't just double check.
Triple check.
To make sure you don't get billed at the out-of-network rate. We asked the head of the Patient Advocate Foundation what efforts are underway to tighten up those regulations in Virginia. Alan Balch says his organization wants to go even broader than that and work toward a federal law that would put every state on the same playing field. That would make it easier for all of us to understand the rules before we get stuck with a surprise bill. Chris Horne, 10 on your side.